Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday afternoon. It's funny, Alan. It's like mid 40s here, so it's warmer here than it was down in San
Yeah,
Antonio this weekend.
it's mid 40s in Michigan here, so
Yeah,
yeah.
right. So Alan and I are back from San Antonio. Uh, we're fortunate enough to spend the weekend with Daniel Gomez and his Millionaire Mind Boot Camp. I actually had a friend of mine from Facebook reach out asking about it, saying that she's definitely interested in the next one, which is in May, I think May 5th or 6th, which is probably a Friday, Saturday is again, another Millionaire Mind Boot Camp. Um, I don't want to get too much into it because I'm still kind of digesting. I have like a dozen pages of notes that I just kind of took and took and took. But a couple things that I got out of it um, is one is daily affirmations. Tell yourself in the mirror that you're good, that you're who you're supposed to be. Um, Time and time again, we hear these negative statements like you're not good enough. Oh, that's too risky. Oh, you can't. It's too hard to do that, and that kind of sets in. I think he said, Daniel said in the meeting that it takes like 150 times to hear something before you actually start to believe it. Um, so I have a list, probably half a dozen. I probably should have more of sayings that I'm trying to say in the morning just to kind of remind myself that, yeah, you know what, I can do this. Um, Another thing that I took out of it is to live each day on purpose. You only get one life to live, so you might as well live each day like you should. Um, and I've been making to-do lists. Like every night I'll think about the next day and write down things that I need to do, and hopefully the following day cross them off. So if you ever have the opportunity, um, one, look up Daniel Gomez or Daniel Gomez Inspires on Facebook. And two, kind of put that Millionaire Mind Boot Camp in May down in San Antonio on your calendar because it's quite valuable. Gives you some direction. And Daniel is, for lack of a better word, an amazing cheerleader. Someone that believes in you and someone that can inspire you to kind of believe in yourself. So um, I I need to apologize to the group because so Friday morning, um, Alan and I are sitting in the conference, and Alan mentions Campbell's soup. Um,
So you
and
had a video on Campbell's soup,
right, so
and
you
I
know,
made I made over $8,000 in Campbell's soup, and I told everybody to buy it. So,
well, you know what? Because when we went on that first break, I actually made a video and I said, the DAX is
did
up.
I buy some more? I think I bought my first. Yeah, I bought my first 50 contracts of Campbell's soup, and then on that Friday I bought another 50. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and so I made a video, just like me talking for like a minute or two, mentioning the DAX is up, mentioning oil's going to bounce, and I mentioned Campbell's soup as well. Um, and I'm kind of kicking myself because 30 minutes before the close Friday, I considered getting into Campbell's. I'm like, well, should I, shouldn't I? Um, so yeah, I should have posted that video in the morning, Friday morning, or at least and Alan's like, did you tell the group? And I'm like, yeah, I posted something. So we're like searching for it, and for
I
some
couldn't
reason,
find it.
yeah, for some reason we couldn't find that my comment or my post. So like I said, I apologize. Um,
Hey, Brian. So it's the rule of the 151
there you
that
go.
you have to get 151 affirmation. And it says here, millionaires act without fear, without having all the answers on the option play. They do not miss opportunities because they do not have all the information.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I was a little
Yeah, yeah,
reserved.
exactly.
I was a
Yeah.
little reserved. And as a side note, so I got home Sunday night and my 11-year-old, soon to be 12 tomorrow, daughter had a tournament this past weekend. I'm like, well, how'd the tournament go? She's like, it was okay. She's like, I didn't play that much. And I'm like, well, why? She's like, my coach hates me. And I'm like, there is the poor mindset in it to a T, because the poor mindset kind of blames others, whereas the rich mindset looks for opportunities to grow themselves. And I took like a 5-10 minute little speech, got on my soapbox and said, well, for one, he doesn't hate you. But two, find the things that maybe he's not seeing in you and improve on them to be able to play more. So yeah, it's like I said, it's totally applicable in everyday life kind of thing. So um I've been doing okay day trading. I'm still using the app. I wish this would like focus on this app kind of thing. Maybe put it on my face. Can't really see it. I track, let's see, I added Best Buy and Dick's today because they reported this morning. They did well. And as a trade, kind of like a sister trade, I traded Macy's, which had a pretty good day, I think. And Cliff as well. Cliff was kind of up 5%, 6% maybe. So yeah, like I said, I've been chugging along. Not hitting. Actually, I think I hit a double on Cliff. Cliff was one of those where I wish I had more into the trade. I was kind of light, but at least I hit a double with it. But definitely using the 5-minute app, waiting for triggers, waiting for candles to close. So yeah. On the other side of it, and someone asked, they're like, well, Campbell's soup never triggered the 5-minute. And I'm like, well, no, it was more of a multi-day kind of trade. Like Alan said, he got in probably Thursday and then Friday. So if you look at the daily on Campbell's, and what I suggest everybody doing is to go into their phone right now, go into the calendar, look for next Thanksgiving, and put a reminder or put an event saying Campbell's Soup CPB runs into Thanksgiving, and then remind yourself or set an alert a week before.
And Hershey runs into
Hershey runs into Halloween,
and Hershey runs into Christmas,
and it runs into Valentine's Day too, I think.
yeah,
right?
and Valentine's Day too. Did you see what happened with Hershey's today?
Yeah, let's go look at.
So Hershey's is a funny stock because you have to literally sell the day of Valentine's Day or Halloween, and then you'll see a big drop. Oh, there's all your drops right there.
Yeah. So this is the daily on Hershey's, which is
Oh, wait, that's today?
this over here is today. Today they were kind of flat or kind of.
They were up like $5.
Maybe did they gap up? I bet they gapped up. Yeah, they gapped up and then sold off. Couldn't hold it.
Now that's interesting with that 5-minute. Yeah, 5 minute. Yeah, what Campbell's did real well. They gapped up too. Well, not really much of a gap.
Yeah. See, someone said, well, it didn't trigger. It would have triggered short here, but yeah, they really weren't. It wasn't a 5-minute play.
It was a 9. I sold all my contracts, the full 100 of them, between 9:30 and 10. You bring that up. I just want to, people say, well, when Alan, how do you get out of a stock? I mean, what's the thing? I like time frames. Time frames seem to work really good for me. The thing is that the rule is you always get out at 10 o'clock. Now, on a very fast market, you get out at 9:45. So look at 9:45,
which is 8:45.
Well, it doesn't matter, but it's the second chart there, right?
So this is the 5-minute. 8:45.
Oh, that big one?
Yeah. And then 9 or 10 Eastern.
Well, where's 8:35?
First candle right here. The first.
No, 8:30. Yeah, so but it got higher because so what I do is that I go ahead and I'll set my bottom one, set the bottom one at, yeah, right there. At the first 5 minute, I'll set my line right there on that. Yeah, see that right there?
Yeah, the low.
Well, yeah, but if you what I'm saying is that I was pushing to stay on to 9 o'clock. And so I think that was that big one right there, that one above the 5 minute.
Or so okay, your 9 o'clock is my
Is that it right there?
uh,
8:30, 35, 8:40, 8:45, 8:50, 8:50. The I'm not, you're sure that's for today?
yeah, five
But
minute
then
today.
come back to, because it got all the way up to 52.73. Where's that one at? Is that where you're at now? What's
Yeah,
that?
well, 52.84.
Wow. I would have loved to sell that. Well, actually, I probably did because I sold a bunch of them at $90, but I did go ahead and sell a lot of them at 80 and 85. Yeah, I do see that. Um, but what it is that you want to go ahead and pretty much, read what's going on. You see it never broke the 5 minute high. So the thing is that you have to call it for what it is. It's not breaking the 5 minute high. So my goal is to sell Campbell's at 53. And so I wanted 10,000 bucks. That's what I wanted. And I was actually hoping it would. So if you look at the all-time high is 53.21. So it should have got back up to the high.
Hmm.
But the point is to have a strategy. I wanted 53. I wasn't going to play around with it. And so as soon as it was paying me, $70 a contract, 75, 80, I'm bouncing, that's why I like 100. So you're peeling them off 5, 10 at a time. And then, I never got any dollars. I don't know if it ever even hit $1.
Hmm.
I never saw it get that high.
What strike were you in?
It's in the 52.
We could
Now,
go.
one thing, and I screenshotted it, but I didn't post it, is that one of the reasons that I was really solid on the trades, there's a huge position at 52 calls. And they show where's the option at 52? Oh, the options of 52?
52. I should bring up let me do that. Let me bring up fidelity.
Yeah, I love Fidelity. You guys want something easy to work with, easy to see, really easy to work with, Fidelity. But they're easy to read. Now, what's it saying aftermarket? Just scroll that back up there.
Down a little.
Oh, 27 cents. That's down a lot. When you're dealing with options, you bring up 1 day today. There you go. And then 5 minute. Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot easier to see. But what it is that you got 9:30, 9:35, 9:40, 9:45, 9:50, 9:50, 9:55. Yeah. So I was looking to get out of it between 9:40, 9:45. So on an oversold stock, usually that's what you see. Yeah, bring up the options chain on that one, Brian. Oh,
There we go. Yeah, there's 52.
now just so you know, those 218, they were on those were purchased yesterday. And that amount was 245. And then the other side was 100. So you had a bunch of people buying today. I'm sorry, selling today.
Yeah.
So does it
Right,
show?
short.
The high, yeah, it doesn't show what the high of the day is though.
I can do that over, let's see here, where are my charts?
I tell you, I was trying so hard to knock, get those down.
90, 90
90.
cents.
Yeah, so I got the high of the day. That's why I posted it because I was kind of happy. But I tried. Now, one of the things I don't like about Campbell's is that the spreads suck,
Hmm.
and sometimes you can get in a lot of trouble on that. You
Well,
see
and
the spread on that 65.80. Now, what was going on is that that was like 70.90, and I no 70.95, and it was making me. I even got out as low as 65 today in the very beginning of the day on a few of them. I didn't go too heavy on those. Um, the
yeah, and you mentioned the spreads.
the
So people have seen my post saying, I'm gonna put a trailing stop on options. And yeah, there are two ways that you can run into trouble with those. One, because you basically put the trailing stop on the mark. So as soon as, let's say, it trades to 80 cents, whatever you trail it by, that's where it sets the ladder. Um, but if the option doesn't trade that much, you may go from like 90 down to 70 and it blow past
yeah.
your trailing stop.
Now look at 51.
Wow, pretty
Yeah.
funny.
So what it
Yeah.
is, you get hung. Now I bought Tyson today.
Well,
Bring
I
up
was going to say
Tyson.
the other thing that I was worried about because these spreads are so low. So when your stop gets triggered, your broker has to get you out of that position no matter what. And the way that they do that is they sell on the bid. So if you have such a wide spread, you may think okay, it's 80 cents. Well, it's down to 65 is where it's going to sell your position. It sells it at the bid. And if those are wide enough, or if those are too wide, you may get screwed in that sense as well. So while trailing stops are good on options that trade a lot and they're narrow spreads, um, there are cases where you could get into trouble with those.
Yeah, bring up Tyson. I'm curious. The Tyson's a monthly contract. Tyson's a good
Tyson,
one. TSN.
TSN. Well, and Tyson's turkeys, right?
Yeah.
You would think those would go up into
Yeah, look at the options though. That's what you care about. Yeah, you did see what Tyson did on that. It
I don't know.
now this is a classic example. You bring that back up. I just want to show you something. What I do is I don't really care about anything other than what's in the blue. And I tell you that it's because even though they're close, the 285, $3, that 1419 is so much more powerful. That's equivalent to the 70. You look at the spread.
Right. Yeah.
And you notice if you go 76, 345, 102, that's like 400. But you got like 1450. So that's how I kind of look at it. Now, this is another thing is if people remember in my book, is that there's three players on this thing here. You have deep in the money, which is 65. You have your hammer, which is going to go ahead and be at 75. And then it should flow to 100. Now, how is that possible? I have no idea because that's a pretty good amount. Now, your hammer could have been the combination of 67, 50, and 70. I don't think Tyson's going to jump, but I'm willing to give it that chance. I'm not in that big of a position. I only did 10 contracts, but I gotta think it's if anything, it's going to run to 75.
Yeah. Well, and you got to remember these are monthly, so you got like a month to go yet.
Now, this is where I talk about strategy. The strategy is that so I'm in the 70 contracts for 10 contracts of $50 each. So a contract, how a contract works is that you take that amount there and you times it by 10. So 0.50 times 10 ends up being $500. The goal is it's going to run to 75. And that may go ahead and take me all the way toward Christmas. But this is when Tyson usually flies, as they say, you know.
Pardon
And
the pun.
yeah. And so what it is that my goal, and you have to have a goal. My goal is to go ahead and take that contract and buy it for 500 and sell it at 75 for 5,000. And you're like, wow, why doesn't everybody do this? I don't know. That's why I teach it. That's the goal. Now I usually do not hold overnights, and I usually do that. Now let me tell you something that usually happens. A lot of people don't know. Okay, Thanksgiving, market's closed. Market's open tomorrow, normal time. Friday is usually a loser day. However, I don't know why. The first hour or two is always up on the day after Thanksgiving. Now, maybe because they're like nervous this Thanksgiving, they may not. And the last 2 hours are usually always a disaster. They take it all back and it goes down. So that's the day after Thanksgiving. Now it's only going to be, the markets will be open to 1. Your brokerage firm is going to want you to be out by noon.
Right.
So between 11:30 and 1, look for a big drop.
Right. Yeah.
I think what scares people, they don't want to hear the retail news.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Black Friday.
Mhm.
But you know, Best Buy actually and Dick's, I think, affirmed Christmas. I don't know who was light. I thought I heard someone was light, but and then weren't we talking about someone that did not do guidance because they don't know?
No, what it is you had Target and Macy's, well, actually Kohl's, that went ahead and suspended their guidance
Right.
because
Yeah. Those were the
they,
two.
they're looking that we're going to go into a recession and that they feel like it's going to be a disaster, and they don't want to project it. So,
Yeah. And Target is TGT and Kohl's, I think, is
TGT.
KSS.
But yeah, but the funny thing is what happened to Target and Kohl's? They all went down, then they jumped back up like a flurry.
Right.
So.
Right. Exactly.
Hey,
Yeah.
Brian, I know you got a plan for your birthday, so I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
And
Doke.
it's great seeing you over in Texas, San Antonio. And
Yeah.
it was a great time. And I'm going to leave you with a Daniel Gomez um, phrase. Um, and then that should be a inspiration to many people. So I can be anything I want. I have a power to create my freedom. I never say I'm sorry. I'm thankful for my patience. I am open to perspective and vast points of view. I have a millionaire mind.
Very good.
Oh, the one thing I liked what Daniel said is that where Jesus said in the Bible, don't be amongst the poor or whatever, he was talking about the poor. And Daniel said that that's a misinterpreted scripture, that it's not people that are poor because, people are poor. That word in the Hebrew and in the Greek means unproductive.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Everybody thinks poor is no money and or no wealth and that sort of thing. And really what it means is unproductive and lazy and, you know, not a part of the producing society. So, right, exactly. Yeah, I remember that. Um, so, okie doke.
All right, sweet. All right, you get to say happy birthday to Sarah for me.
Right, yeah. It's
Yeah.
one more year and then she's a teenager. Ugh.
Oh, I didn't even think about 13's teenager. Wow, yeah.
All right. Yeah. She already acts like one, so what's the big deal?
Yeah, they grow up fast, don't they?
That they do. Yeah. So,
All right, well,
okay.
have a good Thanksgiving, everybody in the group. Happy Thanksgiving to the Dunwoody family. I will be at the Lions game to watch them win against the Buffalo Bills. And I'm excited about that. So, I think we're going to overtake Green Bay and get in second place.
I think you might actually be.
Uh, yeah, I know. Oh, would you guys lose?
Yeah. Thursday night we played, I don't know, the Jets. No, I don't know who we played, but yeah, Thursday night we lost. So yeah. So it's the Vikings who I think lost, the Lions.
No, Vikings had that. I thought they won it and right before overtime.
Did they?
Yeah, I think they did. Well, I don't know.
Vikings, Lions, Green Bay, and then Chicago. And
Who'd
then
ever think 3 weeks ago we'd be saying the Lions would be in second
I
place?
know, right? Exactly. Well, and and for those of you not around Wisconsin, I've already seen more than one trade talk for the number 12 Aaron Rodgers. So
He wants to be done. He's done with football anyway.
yeah, he's done. So it might be a couple rebuilding years for us. So we'll see.
Says he wants to be the Jeopardy host.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see. Have a nice holiday, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to all.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We'll talk to you later. Bye.